Look, for me, it's ultimately about family. In my life, in my mind, and in my heart, there's nothing more important than my family. And I think that we do our family members an injustice by not recording their legacies, because once they pass, which was the case with my father, Andy. And that's where I really got the idea for this business. My father was ill, and he wasn't feeling well. And I thought about recording him, but I wanted to wait till he felt better. And unfortunately, he never did, and he passed away. And the amount of wealth that I miss out on when my father passed away, I can't get that back. To hear my father one more time tell me that he loves me, or to look at me the way that only my father could, that is something that I'll never have again. I've done the living legacy for my own mother because I want my children, when they're older, when they're 20 or 30 or 40 or even 80, to be able to pop in a DVD and see and understand their grandmother, and to know where she came from, what era she came from, the things that she had to overcome, the things that she had to deal with in her life. It's important, if our future generations are going to be successful, it's important that they learn from the plethora of things that went wrong from their ancestors. This information, this experience, this wealth of experience, unfortunately, when people pass, it's gone. And all we're left with are photos and family trees and pictures and things of that nature, but that doesn't do justice. It really doesn't. I've had my own video biography recorded because I have so much to say to my folks and to my kids. The bottom line is this: if you're a family-oriented person like I am, and you've come from a life where someone else had to sacrifice so that you could have a life, so you can have the opportunities that they didn't have, you owe it to your kids and to your grandkids and to your future generations to talk about that and to share with them all of the difficulties and the joys that life has. Because one day they're going to run across those difficulties, and if they can pop in a DVD of you telling them directly, don't worry about it, this too shall pass. It happened to me, and these are the things that I did to get through that time. How valuable is that? To be able to tell your children in a video that you love them. In their time of need, they can pop in a DVD and see their mother or their father or their grandparents telling them again how much they're loved and what they meant to them. There's nothing more important in the world than family. Absolutely nothing more important. The reason why we started this business is just to let people know, look, every year, for whatever reason or for whatever holidays that come up, we give each other these meaningless gifts. They could be sweaters or watches or gold or cars, and we spend thousands and thousands of dollars on things that in the end don't mean anything. But this living legacy biographies, they mean so much, because our future generations will be able to pop in a DVD and really get to know who their grandmother or their grandparents or their great-grandmother and great-grandparents were. What made them tick? What was their inner view on life, love, family? Where did they stand on all of these different topics? And the reason this is important is because during everyday life, we don't communicate with each other on that level. We don't share our feelings on that level. A lot of times we have our own interview of life and of people in our lives, but we never share those because nobody ever asks, or we don't think that our opinions are important enough to be heard. So I beg of you, take the time. If there are people in your life that have been there for you through thick and thin, that have sacrificed their lives just to ensure that you have a life, take the time, acknowledge them, thank them, and ensure that they will never be forgotten. Thank you for listening. I'm Eric Evans.